fellows, and welcome to Pen Night Radio, where we slay our personal demons and arm ourselves to write great fiction. I am your host, PK, unofficially knighted by a fictional character, which means you do not have to call me sir. For our purposes, Alec or PK will do just fine. Let's dive into why we're here. Let's take out our pens and slay the demons that are dragging us down today. Then we write. Pen Night Radio is brought to you by One True Promotion, an alliance of authors dedicated to promoting the indie community. Tonight's topic should concern all indie authors who are thinking about publishing. It's time to spread the word, and the word is deadline. Writing under pressure is a topic of some significance to me. In 2019, after a 4-month draft of The Children of Arc, I immediately began planning publication. But man, was I in over my head. What I thought was a book good enough to publish in 2021 was in actuality a book that required serious attention before it could guarantee lovers of action, fantasy, and surrealism a 5-star reading experience. What I imagined would be a 2-year process turned into 3 years. Then it turned into 4 years. And in those 4 years, did I get a break? Nope. I would impose a deadline I believed would prevent me from disappointing my small readership. And when that deadline approached and the work wasn't done, I agonized over my situation. There's something about writing on a deadline that makes you look in the mirror and say, what have I done? I can't do this. I should have known better. This is a big job for big people. It's not fair. It's not for me. Who am I? There's no way I can get this done. Okay, little dramatic. If you're a fan of this show, you'll get used to me being a little dramatic. I'm working on it. But in all seriousness, that's how I felt. Writing on a deadline is hard enough when you have an agent expecting results by next week, or a business partner asking you when they can launch your media campaign they worked so hard on. Shout out to Andrew. Thanks again for doing all my marketing. Or even a self-imposed deadline that keeps getting closer and closer to you, like a cat stalking a mouse. You're the mouse. But it's even harder when it nears and you have no idea how you're going to get yourself out of the hole you dug. I can remember calling my soon-to-be wife, Carrie, Children of Arc's co-author, and after almost 10 years planning this thing and caring so deeply about it, I was ready to call it quits. The book was stupid, a lackluster, childish effort, and no one out there should be expected to pay money to read it. 10 years of dreaming, and I was ready to throw it all away on one bad evening. You see, Knights, that's what writing under pressure can do to the mind. It can make you forget that you knew what you were getting into. It can take a simple case of poor planning, poor time management, or a reluctance to lean on the great people you have on your team for support, and turn it all into a vicious lie that you just aren't good enough and never will be. Knights, if you're listening now, Pen Night Radio unabashedly declares that that demon is the most sinister demon of all, and we are about to kill it with swords. And also, a few simple steps. I would like to take a moment to thank my team over at One True Promotion. Andrew, the co-founder and chief operating officer, is the author of Sanguinary Song, a supernatural first in a series of magical YA novels featuring a young witch and her quest to stop a burning cataclysm as she attempts to outrun her past. Nicholas Georgel, the arts and media director, is the author of The Death of Earth, a book all about Daichi Hara, a boy in Japan who is turned into a death, who has to kill a certain quota of people per month if he himself does not wish to die. Brielle Elise is a poet and author of The Little Brown Book and Shadows on the Moon. Brielle's work touches upon the little universes in every piece of art, no matter what form art takes. If those sound interesting, please look them up on Amazon. We here at Penn Night Radio would be most grateful for your support. And let's not forget to shout out Cameron S.K. Coates, the cover designer for the Children of Arc. If you want to see more of his amazing artwork, please look him up on Instagram, cameron.s.k.coates, or go on Amazon and type The Calipar to see the amazing work he did on the Children of Arc. One True Promotion is great. Andrew is great. Brielle is great. Nick is great. Cameron is great. And together we do amazing work promoting each other and the author community. Andrew just released Dirge of the Trinity, and Nicholas Georgel put together this amazing video for him. Please enjoy watching, and if you're listening on Spotify, enjoy a quick listen. This is Dirge of the Trinity.
I've always been used to being on my own. Most druids are orphans, abandoned and unwanted. The Order gives them a purpose, competing with your fellow brothers and sisters looking to climb that ladder, to be recognized as one of the best. The assignment and the mission comes first. Your life was forfeit, and you were rescued to serve. Your body is no longer your own. Branded, altered, pushed beyond human limits. Druids go beyond what it means to be human. Then I met her. Defiant, stubborn, beautiful. I was always taught to stay on mission, not to get attached, and for a while I did that. I failed my mission. I couldn't protect her, and I couldn't stop myself from falling in love with her. For the first time, I felt like I had a family in this coven. I was happy. Then you took her from me. A part of me died along with her that night. I'm not the same man that you fought back then. You pride yourself on the fear you cause and the pain that follows. You taste their blood and shut up with the light. You are the single most dangerous creature on this planet. But then why do you hide from me? I have this now, and I think you fear that I will use it to finish what she started. Drake the Sanguinary, you took everything from me, and now I have nothing left to lose. Remember the last time you failed to kill someone? I did, because she put you down, and now I'm going to put you down, and this time I'll make sure there's no one else left to bring you back.
And now back to the topic at hand. Carrie said something vital that night. I carry it with me every day in all that I do. She said, "You birthed the baby. Now let me feed it and change its diaper." Now, it can be hard to admit when you need some help. Sometimes you want to be the person who thought of everything, the genius who can brag of a legacy left behind, all off the strength of your own back. It can be hard to hear that just creating something is enough. You don't want to hear that an idea is good, but the writing is absolute shit, which is another lie. But once you get past that, those words take on a different meaning. Nobody wants to raise a baby all by themselves. Carrie could have just as easily said it takes a village, because it does. Even if you write a great draft, if you have that gift of writing near flawless prose after so many years of hard study, you're still not going to make all of your most major decisions until after you get some reader feedback. How the story sounds and feels from the other side of the conversation is a perspective you just don't have if you stay in isolation. I was so blessed and transformed by the work that Carrie did on the book with me when I started trusting her more. It inspired Pen Night Radio. We do not want you to be isolated and alone if you're going through this. If you are struggling to write your best work under immense pressure, here are a few tips to help you get through the worst of it. Step one, ask for help early on. Like I said, I wanted to be the genius. In part, I was doing all I was doing for some monumental pat on the back. Wow, I can't believe you handled such a big project so brilliantly and with so little help. I was a head case. If I had gone to a few good people I knew early in the process, knowing how vital their perspectives were going to be, I could have saved myself so much time and probably even had an earlier release date because of it. Because I tried to do so much on my own, I not only struggled with it, but I had to work on it for 4 years. Not to mention, I probably could have avoided some pretty serious emotional stress that came of just being alone with myself, drafting and redrafting a project that had my heart but didn't seem to be getting any better. And all these lies that sprang up as I was confronted with that reality. And it doesn't help, of course, that we were all in quarantine lockdown at that time. A little honesty, a little humility, just a simple understanding that this story is your baby. It's your genius, your vision, which you flesh out and develop with integrity every day you work on it, while making a small allowance for, hey, I got this idea. I've been planning it for years. I'm really, really close to the goal now. But there are a few things that are puzzling me. And I'm worried they're going to result in this thing being, well, not all that it could be. You got a minute to talk? Knights, there is no shame in that. If you are a fantasy geek like me, think about all your favorite battle sequences from Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, Witcher. What do all those scenes have in common? The main character fights, not alone, but with an army. It's their story, but one of their chief accomplishments is that they rallied the troops. Step two, set/agree to a realistic deadline. Don't box yourself into an unrealistic deadline. It is so important. I've come to learn that readers will never be disappointed with a delay if there isn't a delay to speak of, because there's no haste in the release day announcement. This can be tough in the beginning when you have less experience. If you are that person, let me just share a few facts about the process with you. By whatever process applies to your personal journey, let's just say you finished writing your book. Now you're editing that book and shopping around for editors or beta readers. You have to wait while they read, listen when they reply back to you, then go back into your manuscript and apply whatever edits they suggest. If those edits are significant, or if they are minimal but they trigger larger changes in your mind, then the time required for that new round of edits can increase exponentially. When you have a book that is publication ready, you then have to consider that the market knows nothing about you. You have to start planning a release as an event that is sure to garner an enthusiastic response. This, of course, leads to steady book sales. To plan that, you have to create content, pictures, blurbs, blog posts, videos, any variety of things that take time to make, just as much time as writing a book. You have to do your own formatting, which is tough, especially if you're only just learning, not something you want to do in a rushed state. All told, process can take up to a year after finishing your final edits. Now, spoiler alert, none of the writers I know put that much time into it. It's usually a process that has already begun while we are scrambling to get some last minute edits done. leading to a final year of production that is, whew, oh so stressful. Both Children of Arc and Dirge of the Trinity can attest to that. So, with all that in mind, do two things. Don't set a release date until you are well into the final editing process of your book. After that, meditate on a block of time that factors in all the things I just mentioned. Make it a release day you'll be happy with, heck, even relaxed about, because you took the time to consider how you're going to meet all of your goals for it, and hopefully enjoy some day one sales. Quick moment to promote my debut novel, Barker's Rules. Barker's Rules is the chilling tale of Melanie Greer and Justin Barker. Melanie is kidnapped by a traveling serial killer known as Barker and brought to the chilling ghost town of Newheim. A superhuman from a place called the Meridian, Barker ensnares Melanie in a world of violence and death that she does not know how to navigate. Will Melanie be able to escape from this deadly killer known as Barker? Will escaping change her in any way as a result? All will be revealed in Barker's Rules, the first of the Meridian trilogy. And just to make sure it's getting enough attention, The Children of Arc is a drama of demon slaying. It tells the tale of Richard Renavan, a man struggling to survive a dismal post-apocalyptic society in the surviving town of Arc. When mankind's predator attacks Arc for the very first time, Richard learns that he and he alone has a weapon powerful enough to stop these invaders. Will Richard be able to do it, or will his demons of doubt and fear rip him down as Arc burns? All will be revealed in The Children of Arc. To the topic at hand, step 3. This is the big one. Are you ready? Ready? Are you sure you're ready for this third step in writing under pressure? Here it is. Ignore the pressure. I'll say it once more. Ignore the pressure. Hardest thing in the world to do if you're me, a guy with ADHD and high anxiety, but not impossible and absolutely essential. Think about Mr. Miyagi, Karate Kid. Wax on, wax off. You got 2 days of work to do with, you got 2 days to do 4 days worth of work. Wax on, wax off. You can't have steady hands if you're in a panic, can you? You can't do a job correctly if you're stumbling all over it, hyped up with the stress of the situation. Most jobs require a calm state where you can measure every movement, either physical or mental, to ensure that you're doing your best work. Writing is 100% one of those jobs. It's all in the mind. And the mind needs to be clear in order to write coherently and with vision. I learned this as we neared the final 4th year deadline of Children of Arc. Once again, I was bogged down with tasks, and if not much happened in a day, man, was that scary. Don't tell me we're looking at a 5th year because I couldn't get anything done today. Nope. Life happens. People get jobs, they have added responsibilities, they get married, they get sick, things happen that are totally unexpected, and they have to recover from grief. Life happens. We only have so many hours in one day. You can get back to that desk at your next availability, calm, available, committed to one task, and even if you just get to do a little bit of work, it's work you don't have to correct later by doing a sloppy job if you just wax on, wax off. Another saying I like is from the tortoise and the hare: slow and steady wins the race. This is all that kept me going as Children of Arc neared its publication day. 100% meeting deadlines is a race, but you don't have to run fast. You just have to keep moving. Slow steps every day are better than fast steps one day and 0 steps for the next 6 days. A little work Sunday to Saturday is better than work all day Saturday and no work for the rest of the week. Not only does this ensure that you're steadily working through the pages, but that repetition, that consistency of going to the writer's desk and picking up where you left off just a few hours ago, really, if you think about it, helps so much with snapping yourself back into that world, remembering what was the last thought you had on the last line you wrote and what you wanted to write next. Just keeping it going a little bit day by day. It also helps to keep good faith with your editing and marketing team. If they see you working one day and then they don't hear from you for like a week or two, they might assume they're in for some pretty bad news. But if they see that you're working consistently at it a little bit each day, it could be not an ideal situation, but they know you're working on it. Every day you're doing a little bit more, and they can be assured that you are going to complete the task at hand. But very important, the whole trick to wax on, wax off is that you're just thinking about the task at hand, nothing else. Not the upcoming deadline, not the multitude of things that can go wrong, not everything else happening outside of that bubble you have to work. Nope. You're there, you're available, and you're doing nothing but writing your next few pages. Totally calm, with a lot of good, slow, steady breathing. This was exactly how, in the final stretch, I got done hours and hours of work on Children of Arc on a very short time frame. Just committing to doing that little bit and doing it right. Now, I should mention, you don't have to write every day of the week like I try to. That's not everybody's process. Like the deadline, you set your daily, weekly, or monthly word count goal. Mine is 2,200 words a day every day of the year. I got that from Stephen King, who, to paraphrase, said that if you can write 6 pages a day to start with, then as time goes on, you get into a good rhythm with it and you can write 8 pages and you can write 9 pages. And next thing you know, you could be writing entire novels in a day or two. When I embarked on the 365-day challenge as a testament to this new commitment, and I started writing 2,200 a day, that is exactly what happened. I had a break from work and all of a sudden I was writing 20,000 words in a day. It cannot be understated how much a nice rhythm of mental and physical work can just improve upon the results. But I took that advice from a guy who's known for writing a lot of books in a short amount of time. Your goal may be entirely different. So meditate on a word count that is meaningful to you. Maybe it's 2,200 words in a month. You don't want to let a month go by without at least writing a handful of pages. That's absolutely fine. Take the advice I gave you before and design your work habits around that word count goal. And you will find that whatever goal you've set will become a reality. Knight's Pen Night Radio is dedicated to bringing you content that is both entertaining and educational. We share personal and business experience to help you figure out how to tackle the most puzzling issues in your craft, slay the demons that are holding you down, and turn that blank page into a full page. We'll be back shortly with a special interview in our second segment, Drop a Line.
Rivers and streams, plucking sunlight from the sky.